Okay, we're going to start this session in the chair, and I'm going to tell you why. So it's a very snowy morning. So here's my little chair. Now, if you want to, for this first segment, as a matter of fact, if you have one of these balance pads or a pillow, just go ahead and put that in your chair, okay? And have a sit down. And then you see what I just did? So everybody, the minute I cross my legs, somebody's gonna say, oh, you're not supposed to cross your legs. And I said, yeah, tell the 99.8% of people not to cross their legs that are crossing their legs. You're not supposed to stay like that. But here's the deal. Cross your ankle and then bring it back. So we're gonna get warmed up. And we're gonna get warmed up in seated. Because a lot of times, people will be seated somewhere. I don't care if you're on a couch, I don't care if you're in a chair, wherever. If you're in, this is especially if you're in your bed, dreaming away, and you wake up with a start, do not just jump out of bed. Swing your legs over and cross over and then come back a couple of times, just your ankle. So you see what I'm doing? I'm getting lined up and I'm saying rib cage up. That's number one. I have my band. I'm going to use it here in just a moment. I'm going to say rib cage up. I'm going to drop my chin. So when I push on my chin, do you see how I'm crossing and uncrossing at my ankles? Okay, that's where you start. And then after you do that, just put your toes out after you've crossed over your ankles a couple of times. Pull your toes up and then press your toes down. Do you see how far out I went with my feet? See, I'm not doing it back here. I go way out here like this because I want you to really work at trying to get your toes down on the ground. It's harder than you think. Then you come back, and when you come back with your toes, you say shoulders down, rib cage up. Then I don't want you to stop right there in your lineup while you're sitting. I want you to open back 1 inch, no more than 1 inch. Okay, I promise. Okay, so drop your shoulders, rib cage up, put your teeth together, put your chin in, breathe through your nose, open at the hip hinge, and now put those toes down really hard while you're leaning back. Yes. And then you do it one at a time and just point to it. See how I'm pointing to it? And this little move right here, through your ankle, through your foot, you're taking a big breath through the nose, and you see this tiny little turn that I'm doing? See, I'm not bending forward while I'm turning. That puts big time stress on your back when you lean forward and you torque or turn. So I'm staying up here. I'm leaning back 1 inch right here. It makes me have to use my core, okay? Practice that so you know where you can find that, okay? Here we go. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose if possible. See how I'm leaning in just a bit? My toes are up, okay? Now I'm gonna put my fingers right here at the hip joint. And I'm gonna open until I feel tightness starting. Because if this didn't kick in as I opened, well, I would just fall down. So just by opening right here, my toes are up, shoulders are down, say rib cage up, keep your shoulders down, and hang out right here. Just open this hip hinge 1 inch and then go point, point. See, I'm pointing and I'm turning. See this? It's a tiny bit of a turn with my hips opening, okay? And I have to be bracing or I won't stay in this position, okay? Take a big breath in through the nose, And those of you who are up here in the north, my guess is you've been using shoveling a lot more than normal. And you might be a little stiff. You might even be a little sore and you didn't even know it. This is the perfect workout to do, to start with. Number one, for that. But number two, it's a perfect thing to start with if, when you take those first steps after sitting for a bit or sleeping, don't just get up and start, trying to ambulate. That's when people a lot of times have a misstep. Okay, so again, open back. Some of you have gone in. I know you have. You've gone into this. Okay, so I'm saying, say rib cage up. Just do it. Say rib cage up, as if I were behind you, pulling your ribs up. See that? Then you open right here. That's when you're going to get the magic right here. That's where you're going to get that bracing that I'm really wanting you to get right here. Okay, so it's right there. Drop your shoulders. Point, flex, point, flex. And do you see this very important little turning, little transverse move I'm doing? But I'm staying open. Number one, breathing in through the nose. Number two, and I'm constantly saying rib cage up, shoulders down. Rib cage up, shoulders down. Now come back into this move. Now hip hinge forward. Yeah. So rib cage up, hip hinge forward. So we're right here. So you have my elbows on top of my knees, just like that. All right. So we're warming up some extremely important joints, ligaments, tendons, muscles, and we haven't even stood up yet. Now you might notice that I'm starting to do the same kind of motion that I was doing when I was doing pointing and flexing in an open position. Now I'm very closed. My taillights are shining. And in order to shine your taillights, what do you got to do? You got to push your butt back. When you're down here like this, like a catcher, okay, and you really try to shine your taillights, oh my goodness, now you do a little turn and you push your forearm against your knee. You're going to set up a nice stretch in the groin there, okay? Then I'm going to come to the center, breathe in through my nose, drop my shoulders, and turn and push myself against my knee there and pull yourself away from your body. So you're pushing and pulling. And then don't do it too hard. That's a mistake. We're just getting going here, okay? Some of us have been doing a lot of shoveling. You might feel a little tenderness in your shoulder, maybe in a back, in a leg, who knows? So see what I'm doing? So as I do this, if I were with you right now and you were doing this move, I would be standing back here, pulling your shoulders down. That's what I would be doing. Because as you turn, we have a tendency to want to pull our shoulders up to our ears, okay? I don't know, we just do that. So take a breath through the nose, drop your shoulders as you're pushing and pulling. See this move? This is a very good, very, very positive move to do for your back, because you are just gently moving, turning, and you're pushing and pulling so that you get those adductors and abductors really loosened up and ready to roll. Okay, just a couple more. So this can really facilitate a pain-free existence so much if you'll just really work through this, okay? Now, we're going to come back to our sitting here, okay? So what are we going to do? We're going to use our hands. So no matter who you are out there, we're warming up. I'm sitting on a little 2-inch high pad or pillow. You can put your hands right there on that if you want to. That'd be fine. So you're going to lean back. You're going to bring that leg up as if you were going to cross your leg, but then you don't. See that? Okay, open back. Okay, we know how to do this, right? So even though I have my hands back here, I'm opening here and I say rib cage up, shoulders down. And then I act like I'm gonna cross my leg, but I don't. Okay, some of you may think, oh, all she did was cross her legs today. No, you know what? The minute somebody goes to cross their leg, I've watched this hundreds of times. They will flex their back and they'll go like this. And that's where they'll be sitting. Okay. Your form will follow how you function. And I'm calling us, all of us, on that bad habit. So open, drop your shoulders, bring that leg as if you were going to cross your leg. Do not round that back. Now I'm going forward. I'm opening back. And I'm going to bring the leg up. And the minute the knee comes up and starts to cross, be careful. This is right where you want to take your hand, if you need to, and put it right back here and do not let it round up. So what are you doing? You're going forward and back right here. And I'm acting like I'm going to cross my leg, but I don't. See that? And I might do that several times. But here's what I want you to notice. As you're doing this, notice, are you starting to round your back just as you start to lift and come over? That's when it happens, okay? And you might think, well, that's not anything, it's no big deal. It is a big deal because you are putting stress right in your lower back where it doesn't need to be. And so what I'm doing is a constant flossing of my hip joint, of some of my vertebrae as I open and close. Now I'm going to start to floss through the knee. Okay, see that? Yeah. So you're going to come in and out. See that? Take a big deep breath. Drop your shoulders. Pretend I have my hands right here on your shoulders. I know it. I bet every one of you dropped at least an inch because you let your shoulders come up here. Drop those shoulders down. That's a protection, number one, and it's helping you to function through your upper body in a more positive way, okay? So now, as I do my crossover, take a breath through the nose. I do just a little bit of a extension. I didn't say kick. See, I don't want you to think you're kicking. Kicking implies out of control motion. This is a controlled motion. So right now, say rib cage up, drop your shoulders, push your chin in. Your ear should be right over your shoulder here, okay? And then you do that little kick out. We'll do several. Yeah, just like that. See that? And then bring it back in. All right. Open, back, drop your shoulders, drop your chin in, bring that leg up, act like you're going to cross, say rib cage up, and then go press open. See, I'm opening and closing just at the knee. I'm just doing a series of little opening and closings. Then I come back in and I come back in. I know you should be feeling some of this for sure. Okay, now I'm going to put my hands here. And I'm going to just take my butt off the chair, but I'm going to lift it forward. I'm going to press my hips forward, okay? Here's where you need to be cautious about your shoulders. Because if you're letting them come up here and then you go like this, that's going to be a big strain, okay, on your vertebrae. So if you're sitting on a pad, yeah, you're going to have to lift yourself up, which is the point here. Mac, why don't you go chill out? They're fighting over bones again. They're just like kids. They're just like politicians. They're fighting. Okay, drop your shoulders. You ready? Push your hip up. Yes, this is a hip lift, and we're doing it from a chair. And then come back and just tap, and then come back up. Take a big deep breath. Drop your shoulders. And on your wrists, you should be hanging out here on the heel of your hand. My arms are very straight, and I'm just pressing, 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 pressing. Drop your shoulders, and then come back and sit. Yes. Take a big deep breath through the nose, out through the nose, if possible. Now, how many of you out there are just trying your hardest not to have a forward head? You just don't want to be doing this and a big hump on your back here. Okay, here we go. Now, I have this in my hand. I hope you have it where you can pick it up. We're going to use weights here today, but right now, I'm going to show you some moves to do for your shoulders and the whole shoulder girdle so that you line yourself up a little better. Okie dokie. I'm sitting in my chair. I'm going to act like I'm marching. See this? Then I'm going to add some pulls. And what you're going to want to do is bring that little band right here in front of you like it's a steering wheel. As you come back with your elbows, you open your hands, okay? So that when you're right here, the shoulders are down. I'm really pulling right through my hands. You want to press the backs of your hands open because I don't want you to break the wrist. I don't want you to go out of neutral. I want you to stay in neutral. Got it? Big breath through the nose. Oh, yes. So here I am. So I'm going to march. Yeah. I'm going to march with an extension. I'm marching with an extension. Okay. We haven't even stood up yet, but we've already done some great loads for those joints, and we're getting the joints to get some of the debris out of the joint. So this is called, they call it flossing these days. We just used to call it warming up the joint. So it's okay. I'm fine to go with flossing. Okay, drop your shoulders. See, I'm going to open. I'm going to march. So I went through that whole tirade in the beginning of this to come to this. Because see, if you go and do this and you don't open, you're going to round your back. You're going to flex your back. I want you to extend your back. So extend your back, open, then you do your march. You can do a march extension. This is excellent. Now don't kick it out there. Now we start our arms. Drop your shoulders, just like a steering wheel. See this? Keep them going. Drop your shoulder. Okay, don't break the wrist. Now pull, pull, pull. Bring those elbows back as far as you can behind you. They're tight in there, into the middle. Don't flare. And you open the backs of your hands really hard with your shoulders down. Big breath. Big breath. Pull open, pull open. Keep the wrist from bending. Get those elbows back. Hold it, hold it. Okay, release and open. Keep your shoulders down. And you're doing this little march kick. I shouldn't say kick. March, extend. Yeah. Now watch the way you extend. This is going to tell you a lot about what's happening with your hips. Okay. If you're doing this and you're pointing your toe out or you're pointing your knee out, we got a problem. Okay. So go wider if you need to, but don't let we'll do that in a minute, but not right now. Okay. When your knee comes up, your shoulders are down. I want that toe, knee, hip to be in line is the point. Got it? Okay, here we go. Open. We're steering wheel. We're going to bring it back. We're opening. Bring that leg up. See that? Okay, pull back. Really pull. Really pull. Big breath through the nose. Pull. Elbows are going back. Tuck your chin. Big breath through the nose, pull hard. Make sure you're not kicking that foot. Okay, you're just extending it and you're making sure your toe, knee, and hip are all in line. Open at the hip hinge. Yes, hang on, do it with me. I'm doing every one of these with you. Do it. Big breath in through your nose. Yeah, we started in a chair today. You thought this was gonna be easy, didn't you? Take a big breath. Drop your shoulders, rib cage up. Look at where your toe is. Back breath, pull, 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 pull really hard. Drop your shoulders and release. Come in. You loved it, didn't you? I wonder how many we did. Kathy knows. Okay, here we go. Right here. Yeah. Pull and pull. Not hard. Not hard. Okay, it's going to go right between your thumb and your hand. See? So when you pull that elbow back, you're pushing down. Don't push up. Okay? Here we go. I'm pushing down. I'm pulling my elbow back, but my shoulders are definitely pushing down. Okay? And come back in. Big breath. Drop your shoulders. Okie dokie. Here we go. Pull down. Pull that elbow back. So it's like trying to touch the chair back and then come back in. Okay? Why do I love this move? I love this move because number one, it is helping us to work on our forearm strength without injuring joints. So many of us have shoulder issues, okay? We've had previous injuries, we do stuff wrong, we have poor posture, etc. Well, this forces you to really function and do a push-pull where you're really making your forearm grip this little band. It's different than gripping the barrel of a free weight. And oh my goodness, does it help your upper body strength? And it helps contribute to rebalancing all of those muscles in your upper body, okay? So you wanna hang out here for a bit. See how I'm going like this and I'm pulling and pulling? Yeah, so now I'm gonna add my lower body right now. So I'm gonna pull open, I'm gonna take my leg and just step it out while I'm hanging out here, gripping this, and then I'm gonna bring her back. Okay, you may think that's no big deal. Let me tell you, if you have replaced joints, it's a big deal. And it's a very important move to regaining or keeping your balance, whether or not you can move your joint out and in smoothly, okay? So at the same time, we're doing what's called a compound move. So that means you've got to make your brain work a little bit, which maybe this morning is not such a good thing for some of us. It's Monday, it's snowing, it's very cold out. Get a grip, you guys. Here we go. Here we go. It's right here. It's right here. Keep those wrists neutral. I'm going to pull down and pull back. I'm pushing down and I'm pulling back. I'm tucking that elbow in. Now I'm opening at the hip. I'm going to bring my knee up and I'm going to go out to the side. Then I'm going to go back in. I'm going to hang out down here. Push down, pull back. My wrists are totally straight. I'm gripping and I'm seeing how my hip is working. Push, pull. See this? Open, close. Yeah, it's just a stepping out and a stepping in. Okay? And do you see that hip hinge that I went over ad nauseum to begin with? I'm doing the same thing here. See, I'm opening the hips, closing the hips, opening the hips, closing the hips, and I'm really pulling back with my elbow, keeping my shoulder down, and then I'm going to come in. Okay? I can tell you're loving this. Okay, are you ready? Other hand. So what are we gonna do? Number one, tuck in our chin. Big breath through the nose. Yeah. Okay, drop the shoulders. Rib cage up. And then you're gonna open and close through the hip hinge as we practiced. I'm gonna take the other hand. My wrists are neutral. They're not bending, okay? I'm gonna punch down. So it's a actual punch down. I'm gonna pull that elbow back with my shoulder down. And then I'm gonna press it down there, okay? I'm just gonna hang out down here and I'm gonna open and close. And if you have a tight hip or a wonky hip, as Marilyn would say, I have a wonky hip. I don't see her today. Big breath through your nose. Look how I'm doing. I'm pushing down. I'm pulling back as hard as I can. I'm hanging out down here with this band resistance right here. Big breath through the nose. Open and close at the hip. Drop your shoulders. You're pulling. You're pulling back and you're pushing down. Just two more. Just two or three more. Two or three more. Okay? Watch it, what happens when you step out. Make sure your knee doesn't cave. I don't want to do that yet. I want to open that knee. Okay, one more, one more. Pull and push. Pushing down, pulling back. All the way open and all the way back. And bring it down. Okay? Go shoulder, shoulder, shoulder rolls. So we're just using a little facilitator of our hand against our knee. Tight tummy. So when you do this, you got to tighten in that tummy, okay? It's a safety mechanism. Right there, right there, right there. Yay. Okay, now here's our band. And I'm going to, again, keep my wrists neutral. And I'm just going to bring my elbows back. See that? Okay. If you're somebody that has a lot of shoulder issues, this is the one that you need to be doing a lot. It will help to release the tension. So at first, you hang on to it, you grip your band, and you're just gonna go back. See how I bring my elbows back? I can open here just a little bit. See, I can open here. And then I want my wrist not to break. I wanna keep my wrist neutral. I wanna pull my hands open while I pull my elbows in and I drop my shoulders. And then I'm going to do little tiny presses with my toes because this is going to make you use your core like nothing else. Drop your shoulders, really pull that open with your hands. Elbows are in the back of you. Drop your shoulders. Keep telling yourself, drop my shoulders, keep it open. Breath. Breath, breath into the nose. Even if you have to blow out through the mouth, breath into the nose. Drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. I know it. You loved it, right? Okay. Here we go. Open those feet, all right? Push your butt back, like shine your taillights, because we're gonna stand up. Okie dokie. Here we go. See that? I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. I'm gonna come up. See that? Yeah. So remember this move? Remember this move that we did with our band? This time my feet are as wide as my chair legs. At least as wide as my chair legs. Okie dokie. I'm gonna hip hinge. Remember that hip hinge that we practiced a lot? Drop your shoulders. Here's my band. I'm gonna hip hinge. I'm gonna pull and I'm pushing this one down and I'm gonna go down as if I were gonna sit, but I do not. And then I go back down, I'm gonna sit and then I come back up. I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna sit, and I'm gonna come back up. I'm just gonna tap. So I'm gonna go right there. Boom, boom. I'm holding. Okay? I'm pulling my other elbow back. Yes. Okay, two more, just two more. Big breath in the nose. One more, breath in the nose. And come back up. Drop your shoulders. So when I do a lot of excited talking, Mac thinks he needs to protect me. I understand. Anyway, okay. So here the deal is, we're going to do the other side with our hand. Remember, I was down like this. Now I'm going to be down like this, but not right now. Right now, I'm going to do a little loading. See, I'm going back and forth from my heel. So one of the reasons I started this whole workout today sitting in the chair, right? Because some of us need to wake up our feet, our ankles, our knees, our hips before we go step out of bed. All right. I know not just my mother, a lot of people who have woke up with a start and they just jump out of bed and proceed to fall. Because I wanted to show you some wake up procedures. That's what this whole day is about. Helping to get some loading going, helping to get some synovial fluid working in those joints. Okay, that's just your joint oil. Okay, see what I'm doing? See, I'm pulling my toe up. Yeah, this is something that anybody with plantar fasciitis, you talk about strength work, but we forget about the feet, okay? And we forget about getting the lower leg going again before we start, marching around and doing tasks. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this, and now I'm going to go into my other arm. All right, so I had this one down. Now I'm going to go this way. Now, even doing this move, see, I'm pushing down. See that? Okay, the minute I did this, I didn't say anything, but some of you did it with me. But what you did not do is you did not say rib cage up, and you did not shine your taillights. And if you didn't do those two things, I will guarantee you when you did this move, you went too low, your chin was up, it wasn't tucked, number one. And number two, you rounded your back, okay? I caught you. How did I know this? Because I know slugs. I have a little cute little green slug right here reminding me. Okay, see this? See that? Yeah, tuck your chin, shine your taillights, the shoulders drop. And you go all the way down as if you're gonna sit. But you don't sit. That's the magic. Yes, you're gonna work hard. Stay with me, okay? Some of you, if you're here in Michigan, been doing a lot of shoveling, okay? You may be a little sore in your shoulders. You're like, what happened? Well, you're not used to shoveling at that kind of a positioning and all that kind of stuff. And anytime you do anything new, you're gonna feel it. That's why I'm doing this workout today. See this? Aha, yeah. So I'm pushing down with my thumb, pushing down. I'm keeping my wrist neutral. This is really going back. This is a K move. I hope K's on. Drop your shoulder. Go down. Now you're going to maintain. See, you're going to maintain this. Pull down. Act like you're going to sit, but you don't sit. And you push into the heels. And the last reminder is don't speed it up. Don't speed it up. Okay, I know you want to just get it over with. Well, deal with it. You're going to not speed it up. Breath. Go into the heels. See, I'm pushing and pulling this whole time. My wrist is not bent. It is in neutral. I'm really working my forearm here. Big time. Drop your shoulders. Breath. See, just act like you're going to sit down, but then you remind yourself, oh, I forgot my chocolates out in the kitchen. So I need to go get them. Take a breath. Yeah, that's what you say. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your chin tucked. Breath into the heels. Okay, we're down to the last 3. Here we go. Pull. Drop your shoulder. Press. Down. Pull. Back. One more. Heels. And come back. Woo. How you feeling? Yes. I let you use this pad. You're going to now see what even 2 little stinking inches do to a squat. So what my whole goal was today was to get you guys in a situation where you were really going to activate your whole body, but especially your legs, your shoulders. And now we're going to step into our chair here in just a moment. I still have my little band here. See, I'm going to lay it right there. I'm going to move my dog. Come on, Mac, you got to get up. Okay, we're going to do a body load. Are you ready? Okay, this is going to be different. I'm just warning you. See this? See my band? Okay, now I'm going to push my hands out like this. See that? Here's my kitchen chair, right? So I'm going to put my hands right here. Now I'm holding open against a resistance, okay? Be very mindful of what you're doing with your shoulders and your elbows. So it's around the wrist. I approach my chair. I open and I put my hands right around the front chair legs. See that? So it's against a resistance, number 1. I'm going to step back. I'm going to tighten in my tummy and drop my shoulders. I'm going to keep my elbows in line with my wrist. And then all I'm going to do is take one heel up at a time. But I am not going to drop my head. I want to keep my chin tucked. Okay? Adjust your chair however you need to. I need a few more inches so I don't hit the couch. Okay? Keep your elbows and your wrists in the same plane, same line. And all I'm going to do is tighten, get ready, and lift. Drop my shoulders. Breath into the nose. Out through the nose if possible. I'm on my toes. Tighten up, tighten up. Keep those hands open. Breath. All you're going to do is bring a heel up. Now, if that is too difficult, just go into a bent knee. See this? You can do this. This is much more modified. It's not as challenging. You can do this. See, I'm working to hold my wrists open in line with my elbow. So just bend your knees up, take your heel up and back. Then if you want to be a little more challenged, open them back a little bit or all the way. I'm all the way here and I'm just going to go 1, breath, breath, toe, heel lift, tight tummy, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Hold those wrists open. Breath, breath, breath. Bring your hips down right to here. And then lift. Bring the hips down. Lift. Bring the hips down. Breath. Just a couple more. A couple more. Breath. Breath. Last 2. Breath. Breath. And step in. And step in and bring those wrists in. I know it. You never knew it was going to be that difficult to keep these open. You can do a lot with this little thing. Okay. Mac, scoot over. Okay. Big breath. This is going to go down. Now we're going to do some step outs. Just like that. Step in. Okay, shake out. Yeah, step out. See that? I have to open this, right? I have to open right here. Drop my shoulders, step in. Yeah? So I'm right here, soften up the knees, drop your shoulders, step out. See that? Yeah, you want to feel this right here opening. If you, I meant to say this a while ago, I remember I started saying if you have arthritis or something going on with your hips, they get tight. Yeah, that's part of the process of arthritis. It will, you just feel tight down. So that's really what I try to address in so many ways in this little class, because I'm right there with everybody else. It's a management issue, y'all. It ain't about being perfect. It's about getting on with your day, staying functional. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to have huge muscles, but you have to have good joints. And if you've got compromised joints, you got to do it a little differently. And that's what this is about. Okay, take a breath, drop your shoulders. See, I'm doing a series of step outs. Okay, step back in. Okay, now I want to do something very functional. See this little thing? So I can use this. I could use this. Okay, or I could use this. So I have 3 different heights. So I'm telling you, one of the best things you can do if you really want to help your independence, you want to help your walking gait, you want to help your balance, find a couple of different heights. And by having this thing right here, this is a balance pad, it's 2 inches deep. Okay, that's a great device to help your balance. Okay, we use it a lot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to step into it, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. Always, always, always have a chair, have a wall, have a bed, something you can grab onto. It's best not to be another person. I hope you're laughing at that. Because you might just pull them down with you. But all I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do this without using my chair, my wall, my bed, my counter. But this is going to throw you everywhere. Okay? So this is strength loading today. I used a band for the most part. And I used different heights. And I used different angles. And I stepped back, and I wanted to really start priming the very muscles responsible for keeping you upright when you start to ambulate through your day. So that's what this is about. So I'm going to step in again. See, I'm just changing my lead leg. So I'm on my toe right here. I have my chair here if I need to. So right now, as you're stepping into this pillow, open your toes or splay your toes, okay? All right, if you're a fisherman, then you know splaying. So you see what I'm doing? All I'm doing is trying to maintain by my hands being right down here, my shoulders down, tight tummy, and I'm trying to just bring my heel up. And I'm trying to say 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, while my ankle and foot goes all over the place. Yes, you'll feel the muscles. Okay, step off. Take a big breath, shoulders down. Step up with the other foot. Your toe is your kickstand. Don't immediately go into your challenge. You'll find yourself in the floor, or you'll have to immediately put your foot down. This is my challenge side for balance, because this is my hip replace side. So I have to really think, okay, am I ready? Don't over lean. See, if you can do this without putting your hand on something, you're thinking, oh, see, I can do this. No, if you're over leaning, then you're not working the muscles where I want you to. Just touch something to keep you more upright. Then do that challenge. Bring the heel to the hip. See, the knee is soft. I'm just barely touching the chair because I don't want to over lean. Big breath, shoulders are down. Breath, splay your toes. Knee is soft, don't overlean. And you do just a couple of lower leg movement, which is what I'm doing now. We could do some real challenging moves. We could go all over the place, you know, like this. And if you want to do a few of those, that's good. Stay in the move, then come back down, and then come back down. So for people that have joints replaced, we get into very bad habits, and it's called compromising. We overcompensate and lean so that we can stay on balance. And then we're surprised when, oh my goodness, I lost my balance because you lost those muscles because you were doing what's called cheater moves. Okay, I'm going to bring this back. I don't know if you're able to see that. I just noticed. Okay, so here I am back here. So now I have my chair, my wall, my couch, or my bed, something. So now we're going to do opposite muscle work. Okay, all right, I'm going to drop. So this is called an eccentric motion. It's elongating in order to get myself down the stairs. Now, if you have a set of stairs, they're your friend, okay? Hang on to a rail or whatever if you need to, but just be aware of how hard you're using that railing, okay? You want to just barely touch it. You want to keep yourself from overleaning, but then you elongate and you put your heel down first. It's going to feel really different when you do this. So as I do it, I'm going to, again, do a tiny bit of a hip hinge as I let myself down the stairs. See that? So hang on to whatever gently. So this side is much stronger. Then I come down. I want to stay hitting those muscles. Drop that shoulder. Take a big deep breath. Yes. Yes. Tight tummy. Drop shoulders. Hang out down here for just a little bit. And then come back up. Eccentric motion. Go down the stairs very slowly. Really get into those muscles as you're doing eccentric contraction, and you're lengthening your muscles instead of pulling them back up. Okay, ready? Right here in front of the chair again. Yeah, I'm gonna come right here, but I'm not gonna sit down. I'm gonna go a little bit wider, and then I'm gonna straighten my legs. My back is extended, and I'm coming down here, and I'm gonna pull a toe up and a toe up, and I've got my chair here because I got my head down. The blood is coming down, and I'm gonna pull my body in there and then come sit down. Yay. Take a big deep breath. Go to one side of the chair. Drop your knee. Sit to the front. Your laces are on the ground, and you're gonna open back. Woo! Big stretch. All through here. Yeah. Take a big deep breath. Hang out there for just a little bit. Take a big breath. Take your upper body opposite the leg that's going back. Big breath. Then come back in. And you may need to stay down there on that side for a little bit. That's okay. Because if you've had a joint replaced, knee or hip, it is hard to stretch your quad. This is a great way to do it. Put your knee down, sit to the front of the chair, do all those little lineup moves, put your laces on the floor. Now, don't bring the knee out and go back. And then bring your hands together and stay back. And now you're doing a great mobility move right here. Take a breath. Take a breath. Hang out there for a bit. Take a breath. Take a breath. And then come back. And come back up. Bring your hands right behind your head. barely touch your fingertips. Open the elbows, open and drop your shoulders. Just hang out here for a bit. Gently push against the back of your head and push your head back into your fingers. It's just a little push-pull. Open the elbows, lift the rib cage. Big breath, 3 big breaths. 2, open the elbows, drop the shoulders. Big breath. And bring it down and bring it down. Woohoo! Give yourself a big hug. It was a little different class today. However, I wanted to start and get you ready to stand up. And a lot of people don't think about that before they stand up, and that's why they get into trouble. Anyway, hope it worked.